How are you, Sherry?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm so glad to get through to you, Dr. Cloud. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my question is, well, I have a number, but I'll stick to one. I've been dating someone for about a year, and I'm in my 50s, as is he, and he's
Wait a
a
minute.
really
You
wonderful
you
man.
you said you said you have a number, but you'll stick to one. There's a number of guys you've been dating for a year.
I'm sorry. There's a number of questions or issues that I have in my
Oh,
relationship.
got
But
it.
really, there's one fundamental question that I have heard you talk about before.
Okay, what is it?
I am a Christian. I'm a Christian. I've grown up going to in a certain denomination with church life, Bible studies, just a strong spiritual life. And it's become even more, I don't know if the word is urgent, but just more important to me since this whole pandemic and political
What if what
environment.
if we what if we use the word vital?
Vital, yeah. It
Yeah,
it
it's become
it really
vital.
is. I mean, it's everything to me, and it's not to him. His priorities are different. He's a believer, and he is open to discussion, and he believes in the Bible. He believes in God and Jesus Christ, but it's just not important to him as far as making time. And so I feel like we're kind of at a head in our relationship, even though a lot of our other values are very similar: kindness, respect, boundaries. Um, yeah, and I'm really devastated if this is not going to work out. But I feel like I'm not spiritually strong enough to be with somebody who's not on the same page as me.
Well, why would why would being spiritually strong enough have anything to do with? I mean, why would you want to be? I'm gonna paraphrase that. I
Sure.
wish I wish I could be strong enough to be with somebody that isn't a good match for me.
Well, thank you for putting it that way.
Well, that's what it
Yeah,
is,
yeah.
right? I mean,
It,
as I
no,
hear
yeah,
you, no,
yeah,
you
no,
could
you're right.
say,
You're right.
I guess if I were stronger, it wouldn't bother me as much. But I don't know if that's true because the stronger we are, you know, Jesus was pretty strong, right? And
Yes.
when he was saying, "Hey, come over here and play with me in the light," and people said, "No, we'd rather not go that way." It wasn't out of his weakness that he couldn't handle that. So it's
Yeah.
it's
No, you're
more.
right. And I feel like I'm faced with the, I think I need to end this relationship. And I maybe I don't know how to do that when I love him. I am
Well,
with
painfully
somebody
would
that I
be the
really
answer to
love.
that. Yeah, it'd be very, very
Yeah,
painful.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm not
And
saying
how?
I'm not saying you have to end the relationship necessarily, but what I am saying is you've got your biggest discussion you've got to have right now is with yourself.
Yeah. No,
This is
I
about you and what you want.
it is, and I've been married before, so I know it's hard enough, and to not have something like this in common, I just don't know how I can move forward.
Well, wait, it's
But
hard enough not having it in common, but what do you want? Let's not build something by how to manage the negative, right? When
yeah,
you're talking about that you're at a perfectly, you know, autonomously gifted, the world is your oyster place in your life where you've got, all of this, God willing, decades out there in front of you. And you're saying that you want to spend those decades pursuing all the ramifications that your faith has. And
yeah,
that means how you
no,
spend time, it's how you spend energy, it's what excites you, it's what you might want to give money to or not, it's communities that you connect yourself with, it's ways that you give and volunteer and serve. It gets into it gets into all of life. This whole thing wasn't designed to be a piece of life.
No,
It
you're
doesn't
right.
work well that
It
way.
is.
Okay.
No, no.
So if you're
Yeah.
saying, you know, that's what I want for my next 4 decades. I want a life that is, you've often heard me say, if you've heard have you heard this show before?
I have. I listen to you a lot.
Oh, okay. So you know how
Yeah.
a lot of people will carve up the pie of life as having, physical, emotional, relational, professional, intellectual, and spiritual needs. Yeah.
Yeah. God is
I
the whole
that
pie, isn't he?
For me, I mean, my my stinging hair catches on fire when I hear people have a spiritual dimension of their life, because the whole thing is spiritual.
It
When
is.
God
I
invented
agree.
this life, he threw a bunch of people on the earth and said, I am an invisible spirit. I'm going to put you in a physical body and I'm going to breathe my spirit into you. And your profession and how you live it out and you're reaching your goals and how you feel and how you overcome depression and anxiety and how you, spend your time and talents and resources and how you relate to people. That's all manifestations of your spiritual well-being.
It
So,
is, and it's yeah.
so I think that's what you want. I think that's what you want. But
It,
go
it
look in the
is,
mirror.
and you're yeah,
All right.
yeah. It
So
is.
now,
It
now
is.
hang on,
It's painful.
hang on.
Ugh.
Well, it is. It's painful. But here's the thing. You might want to sit down with him and say, you know what? We've we've been together a year, and I really love you. There's so many things I enjoy with you and doing various parts of life with you and spending time, all the things that we do. But there's a big piece as I think of going forward with somebody, there's a big piece that's empty for me. And
Yeah.
I don't want to I don't want to lose you, but I can't be on a path where that much of my life is done solo when I'm in a relationship. And so here are some specific areas that I would like to invite you into. And why don't we say, if you want to, um, you're going to join me and come see. I don't want to change you. It's up to you. I don't want you doing this if you don't want to. But you would join me in these areas and find out why I want to spend my time and energy and resources like this, and see if you like doing it with me. And that way we've really integrated this into our dating. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Just like any other dating relationship, it doesn't work for some reason. It doesn't work. But you might want to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that would be a place to start, at least. I have kind of done that. I have had similar conversations with him.
But has it gotten specific of what that means? Let's go on a retreat together. Let's join a Bible study together.
Yeah. I wish
Let's
things
go
were a
walk
little
on the
more
beach.
simple.
What's that?
Oh, this whole pandemic has it's been really challenging with the church and Bible studies but yeah, no, regardless, I agree with you.
It's not that hard. I'm in a Bible study. We social distance now. Before that, we Zoomed.
Yeah.
We liked it. I bet you would like it. I bet if I invited you into it, you would like it.
Oh, I think I would love it.
Yeah. So why wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't he? We don't know.
Yeah.
But if he would, he would. Okay. Here's what you got to do. You set the bar, and you say, I don't know if who I'm going to be with is you or not. I want it to be. But whoever it is, is going to share this part of my life with me. I invite you to come try it. And if you don't, then obviously it's not going to make you happy to be with me, because that's who I'm going to be. And it's not going to make me
Yeah.
happy to be with you, because you're not going to be that. And so there's our answer. This doesn't take high IQ to figure out. It just, does the glove fit or not?
Yeah. Perfect.
Okay.
That's giving me some words, some conversation openers with this very important topic. Yeah, I do have decades, and I know I want to spend them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And let me tell you this, there's nothing cooler than being on a lifelong journey with a spiritual partner.
I do long for that. I have friendships. Yeah. My friendships are that way.
I know that. And that's great. Yeah. And I was single, well into my 30s, and I was totally happy in my spiritual pursuits. And I could have continued that way. But I can't imagine, I've been married, 25 years now? I can't imagine if the last 25 years had been bifurcated between a marriage and everything I care about in the life of God, meaning from everything to community to activities and mission and all of that. I wouldn't have liked it. And that's why the Bible says, don't be unequally yoked. So there you go.
Okay, perfect.
And let me tell you one more thing. I bet this is a great guy. I bet he's a great guy. Okay.
He is good.
And I hope you guys can work that out if that's what you want, that's what he wants. But don't let your mind trick you into thinking, but there'll never be anybody else.
Yeah, I do go there sometimes. It's hard to find a good one these days.
It's hard to find a good one when you're in one and not looking, because you're not sure that if you're in the one that's not right. It is hard.
Yeah.
Much harder to do that.
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
All right. Well, tell him congratulations also on finding a good woman, and y'all can find out if it is a match or not, and we'll see what happens.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
This has been fantastic.
Thank you for your call.
I appreciate it.
Okay. All righty.
Bye.
Bye-bye.